Hello, welcome to Ferrell Swim Tech. My name is John Ferrell. This is the live stream, streamed exclusively to Team Zoot's Facebook page, where I take my 15 years of racing experience and 13 years of coaching experience to help you get faster in the pool. So, if you like what you see here, make sure you hit the like button, hit the follow button. Thank you very much to Team Zoot for allowing me to be able to use your space and talk about swimming, something that I truly love. So today's topic, we're going to talk about flip turns. Flip turns, yes, we're going to talk about flip turns today. And that is because, all right, young number one for the morning. So basically, flip turns are going to be very essential to your training. Now, it's very easy to say, well, you know what, flip turns aren't really that important to work on, blah, blah, blah. No, flip turns, absolutely. If you want to learn how to train better, you got to work on your turns. Now, there's two flavors of turns. There are flip turns and there are open turns. Now, okay, full disclosure here. I said last week on Tuesday at the end of the show, hey, you know what? I think I'll do flip turns next week. And you know what drops on Friday? Global Triathlon Network just dropped a full video on flip turns on Friday. I swear there's someone in this chat that listens to what I say, and they go to Global Triathlon Network and say, hey, this really awesome guy on Team Zoot is doing this thing, so we're going to totally be able to push out a production way faster than he can. Yes, it's all a conspiracy, dang it. They're watching me. But hey, seriously, GTN, call me. I'll be a consultant, okay? I come cheap. So anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk, I do know that they just put out a video. I just don't want you to all think, well, they just put out a video and now he's talking about it. Pure coincidence. Yes, I did watch their video. I have a couple different comments than they do. Then yeah, I just want to be open about this. I don't want people to think, oh, well, he just looks at what GTN does and just recycles their content. I'm not a content recycler. There are best practices, so they will and I will say a lot of the same things, but I have a very different perspective on this. Yeah, I just realized I need to get rid of this big old box. Give me one second. Okay, now let's get serious here and talk about turns. So there's two types of turns. There's open turns, which is known as a touch turn, and there's flip turns where you do a half front somersault at the wall and then you push off. So basically, for freestyle and backstroke, you're allowed in standard pool swimming, like standard competition swimming, you are allowed to do flip turns for backstroke and freestyle, okay? So for freestyle, you just go in, do a flip turn, push off. Backstroke, you actually flip onto your stomach, then do a flip turn. You don't do a back turn. I actually saw a kid that I teach do... No, it wasn't a kid that I teach. It was another kid that I work with a little bit. Yeah, I saw him come into the wall and legitimately do a backflip and at the turn, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Well, I thought that's how you do it. I need to have a talking to with his coach, who's another one of my ex. Sometimes I see the coaches at that work at the pool that I work at, and I'm just like, hey, yeah, they're doing this. They might not want to do this. So anyway, touch turn versus flip turns. All right, what's really the difference here? The big thing with touch turn versus flip turn is that flip turns are going to be faster 100% of the time. Basically, only someone at my level can make a touch turn almost as fast as a flip turn. Okay. However, when you're just starting out, your flip turns are going to be slower than bat snot. You're going to lose a lot of air. It's going to be a rather unpleasant experience. So this is why, and also we'll get into the physics of flip turns in a few minutes. But basically, if you don't really have all the time to listen to the full video and you want to hear my absolute honest take on should I do flip turns or should I go through the pain and annoyance of learning flip turns, or can I just do a touch turn? Okay. Once again, I like to break this down in terms of cutoffs. And number one, you want to learn flip turns and you swim 230 per 100, knock yourself out. I do believe you're going to be much, much, much better served spending a lot of time during your training sessions focused on actual freestyle technique. Now, we got summer coming, okay? Any of y'all's own a backyard pool, start doing somersaults. Just start jumping and doing a somersault in medium amount of water. I mean, I can do a somersault. I can jump, do a front flip, and land on my feet in 3.5 feet of water. I'm not doing it on land. I can do it in 3.5 feet of water. I've been doing it for years, so it doesn't, I'm fully confident that I can do it. Theoretically, I probably could do a front flip on land, but I'm 41 and I don't want to break my neck. The more you know. So, what is the cutoff? 145 per 100. If you're slower than 145 per 100, I don't recommend spending your training time learning how to do flip turns. Like I say, you got a backyard pool, you want to mess around with during the summer, you want to have some fun with your kids, start learning to do flip turns at your pool wall, okay? Do that on your own time. Please, I very much so recommend you don't spend a bunch of training time learning how to do a flip turn. Now, if you're under 145 per 100, I believe you really need to start learning flip turns because this will help accelerate your ability to get from that 145 to the 130, okay? 145 to 130, there's a couple things that you really need to focus on. Streamlines, we've already talked about that. We talked about that 2 weeks ago now. Turns, starts, your streamlines and your turns. Those will knock off 5 seconds easy off of your 500 or off of your 100. 5 seconds, that's an easy 5 seconds. Focus on getting your streamline past the flags. Focus on doing efficient flip turns. Now, what are the big pitfalls of doing touch turns? Number one, taking a picnic on the wall, okay? I always joke with the kids because for, just to kind of round out pool swimming, butterfly and breaststroke, you are required to do a 2-hand open turn. You are not allowed to do a flip turn at any time. So pool swimmers actually learn how to do efficient open turns and flip turns, okay? So I am very proficient at doing both. That's why I say swimmers of my talent level are able to do a touch turn almost as good as a flip turn. I mean, we're talking about tenths of a second difference here. So when it comes to open turns, number one, spending far too much time on the wall. You touch the wall, you turn around and you go. Number two, rotating on a horizontal axis. So any other words, I got some video of this stuff. I realized employing my 9-year-old and 11-year-old daughter that have zero actual filming experience probably wasn't the best idea, but it's cute. And I try to get my kids involved with this kind of stuff. So you touch, rotate, and then push off. You don't want to rotate this way. You actually want to go this way. You want to go backwards with your turn. And the other thing, too, is if you learn the touch turn the way that I'm going to teach it, it'll actually really help with flip turns, okay? Because you're going to learn how to rotate yourself in the water and be able to start learning these mechanics in a much more, you're going to learn these mechanics in a much more comfortable manner. So you're rotating backwards and you're getting a good breath as opposed to trying to tuck your head and do a flip turn that way. So another common mistake that I see with open turns is simply like the way that I teach is that you're gonna touch the wall, you're gonna have the hand back, and then you're going to go right here. Is when they grab the wall, pull themselves all the way into the wall, and then push themselves all the way back to do the turn. Okay? You don't need to pull yourself into the wall, because the problem is you pull yourself into the wall, you got nowhere for your legs to go. Okay? You got nowhere for your legs to go. And remember our discussion back with streamlines. We want to be able to push off the wall with 90-degree legs. So we want to be here rather than down in a full squat trying to push, trying to do a jump from a full squat, okay? We want to be in a half squat. We want our legs to be on the wall at 90 degrees. That's the number one key of the turn. Whether you do flip turn or open turn, it is the same. You want your legs to be sitting in a chair, easy to push off, okay? Legs at 90, get them on the wall, all right? Don't go full cannonball. You never go full cannonball. So yeah. So those are the things. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start looking at some video here. I can't remember which ones are which. Nope, that's flip turn. This one should be, oh boy, my daughter's got her thumb in the camera. Nope. This one should be the open turn. There you go. Here's my open turn. Okay, so this one is my open turn. So swim into the wall. Okay, right here. So let's start here with an open turn. So you're gonna come to the wall, one arm down, one arm up. That's my daughter, by the way, and that's her best friend. Full arm fully outstretched to the wall. Okay. So right here. So you see how much separation my body has from the wall. Basically, I come into the wall here. I'm about here with the elbow bend. Okay. So the key is when you come into the wall to touch, you want to stiffen up that arm a lot. You don't want to just let your arm collapse in. You're going to touch the wall, come here, because you're going to be pushing that arm off the wall, and you're going to be rotating backwards. You're not going to rotate this way. You're going to rotate this way. Okay? So back to the push. So you see right here, I've tucked my knees, and I've bent my elbow. My arm is still pushing backwards. Okay? So now what's happening is we're doing two movements at the same time. Number one, I'm pushing off the wall with my arm that has touched the wall. Okay, once again, left arm, right arm, doesn't matter. Pick something comfortable, get used to it being comfortable, okay? Just I highly recommend when you do this and you're really starting to focus on these turns for the first time, pick one arm. Always turn with that arm, get very proficient with that arm, then learn how to do it on the other side. It's just like breathing. You have a natural side that you're comfortable with. Just keep picking that until you get insanely comfortable doing the turn on that side. Then start to learn it with the other hand. I would say your non-dominant hand, I would say, is pretty low on the priorities list in terms of learning how to turn. Absolutely prioritize. I'm right-handed. I would touch the wall with my right hand every single time unless something was going very wrong on my approach. But right here is you're doing two things. You're going to induce a back roll. And the way you do this is you greatly tuck your knees, okay? You tuck your knees really crazy, engage those abs, tuck the knees. And then you're coming backwards you're going to be coming backwards. You're pushing off, and then you're going to tuck that elbow. You're going to bend the elbow to bring the hand up and over the water. So you see right here. Okay, so let me show you your goal. Every time you hit the wall is this pose right here, okay? Feet are on the wall. Knees are bent at 90 degrees, okay? This is why we want to keep that long arm and keep that separation. Don't let that elbow completely collapse and we pull our body all the way into the wall. We only want to come in about 6 inches. Like 6 inches is all you need to be able to push off. You got to have an elbow bend. You can't push off with a straight arm, okay? Real quick. You can't push off with a straight arm, okay? You got to let that elbow bend. But this is about all you need. And then you're going to go boop. You're just going to pop here, come backwards, and then tuck those knees so you induce a back roll, okay? So you're going to induce a back roll. Your legs are going to be bent, and both of your arms are pointing in the direction you want to go, okay? The other big thing that I see with people on the wall is once they get in this position, they go, they do this little shuffle dance, and they try and get themselves in the right position, then they go, ugh. Okay? There's confidence, okay? That's what I tell all these little kids I work with, is you just need to push with confidence, okay? At this point in my life, I have done tens, if not hundreds of thousands of turns, okay? Me doing this turn is as comfortable for me as walking down the street. It's one of the, it is so ingrained in my inner psyche that I don't have to worry about this anymore. You are going to need to worry about this. You're going to need to think about it. Take it slow. Here's the deal. When you start learning turns like this, take it slow. Start about the flags. Push in get in the shallow end. Push and glide into the wall and start learning how to do the turns. So I'm going to break it down on which pieces you should start with. Let me see here. This might be it. I think this might be the one. So, but to finish off, so then you're gonna push off the wall. Okay. So let's watch it again here. So you're gonna come in, touch, push, off the wall. Okay. So there's gonna be a couple ways that we're going to learn this turn. So first off, what you're gonna do is you're gonna swim into the wall. You're gonna outreach your hand, okay? I want you to learn how to get into this position and just touch the wall, okay? No leg splayed, no arm all the way here, no arm crossed here. Just a nice, long, streamlined position. Learn how to touch the wall in this position first, okay? So that's gonna be item number 1. Item number 2, in order to learn this turn, you're gonna swim into the wall, touch, elbow bend, and hold here, okay? So you're gonna swim into the wall at a very slow, comfortable pace. 1, 2, 3, 4, touch, elbow bend, and hold, okay? So you're gonna come here, touch, hold, and then stand up, okay? So basically what we're doing is we're learning how to touch the wall and cradle ourselves. We're using our muscle stiffness to hold ourselves here, okay? Next, we got to learn how to push our hand off the wall. We just got to learn how to push off first. So you're going to swim, swim, swim here, cradle, push, all right? And you're just going to push yourself backwards, Nothing too crazy. Nothing crazy. This is just holding a streamline, pushing ourselves off the wall. Just learning to use our hand to push ourselves off the wall without dragging ourselves into the wall. The big key is only coming to here and then pushing off. All right. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to tuck and plant our feet on the wall. All right. Because in theory, if we look at my open turn, we're going to come here. So you see how far my body is from the wall? That's about a full arm length. Okay? This is key to learning how to put your feet on the wall. Okay? If I have my arm at full length, I can put my feet on the wall at approximately the correct knee bend distance away from the wall. So what we need to do is we need to teach you how to engage your abs and draw and drag those knees into the wall. So what you're going to do is you're just going to hold the wall, float the legs on this next portion. You're going to hold the wall, float the legs, tuck the knees in, and then put your feet on the wall. That's the next thing you got to do. Tuck the knee, put the feet on the wall. All right? You can even just let go of the wall when the knees pass underneath you, okay? So you start here. Okay, full camera. So you're going to start here. Tuck, push. All right? Legs are here, okay? Hold on. Yeah, it's got a... no, this... Okay, this analogy completely fell apart. I do apologize. So I'm actually planning on putting together an Instagram post outlining all of these steps. I'm literally pulling 12-hour days at work this entire week trying to get a massive zoo project out. So yeah, not happening this week. I barely got the footage yesterday for this. But basically, you want to be able to tuck your knees and then put your feet on the wall. Let me see if I can't remember which. I didn't get a chance to catalog these. Yeah, I didn't get all the footage I thought I did. Okay. All right. So, I do apologize for the shakiness. This was my 11-year-old daughter that filmed this. I need to teach her how to hold a camera still underwater. But anyway, so what you're going to see is I'm going to come into the water come into the wall over here. Like I said, this is an 11-year-old very amateur underwater film videographer. So you see right here, my elbow bends underwater. And then I tuck the knees. So yes, in this part, you are going to go full cannonball. But as I push myself off, I get my feet, as I push myself off over this way, my feet are now on the wall. Now you can clearly see that 90-degree bend here. And then I push off into the streamline, okay? So you can see all this happens within 1/10 of a second, okay? This is a very fast open water turn. Well, given my age. Oh, no, this happens within a second, not a 10th of a second. Within a second. I do apologize. I'm not that fast. All right, I'm not that fast. So I come in, tuck the knees, rotate, put my feet on the wall, and then push off. All right? So that's the underwater portion of how this works. So then what you want to do in terms of this flip. So you see right here, I'm reaching for the wall. I grab the wall, bend the elbow, push, and then right here you see I tuck my knees and then put them on the wall, okay? So I'm actually rotating to the side on this. So I'm not bringing my knees directly underneath me. I'm actually bringing my knees to the side. You see, this is the thing where I keep saying, sometimes you think you're doing something, but you actually look at the video like, holy crap, my knees are actually doing something totally different. So I'm tucking my knees into into the side and then putting my feet on the wall. And I do wish my daughter understood the importance of centering the frame. So they're coming over and then putting the feet on the wall, and then I'm pushing off, okay? So this is your goal. When you push off every single time, I finally got some underwater of me swimming, which is awesome. This is your goal. Feet, hips, hands. When you learn a good streamline, okay? This is my natural streamline. This is how I push off every single wall. This is your goal. I finally have some good underwater to show you. The hand over hand, head is in between the arms, the feet, hips, and hands are all in alignment. This is the streamline you're looking for, okay? So then the final is to be able to get the hand to come over the water, okay? So in order to do that, just stand at this. Actually, no, this isn't going to translate into flip turns at all. So basically, you want to stand at the shallow end, touch the wall, bend the elbow. Bend the elbow. Okay? You don't want to think of your hand coming over because then you're going to do a full rainbow with your hand. Bend the elbow. You bend the elbow, I get your hand here, and then you're just going to extend out. So you're going to come here, bend, push, bend the elbow, and go. So if you want to practice this on dry land, that's the part to practice on dry land. Unfortunately, with turns, it is very hard to practice this on dry land. I've seen joke videos of high school students in indoor high schools, you know, where all the halls are indoors. Here in California, most of our campuses are actually mostly outdoors. Like, okay, the walking areas are mostly outdoors. One day I said we have an outdoor school. Everyone's like, oh, are your classes outside? No, we have classrooms. It's just all the walkways are like open air. You know, there's no like classroom halls. There's these little corners into what we call the quads. But most of the campus is an open campus. It's not like here's the high school building. It is actually a decent, I mean, the high school's been here since the 1970s, okay? My father went to the same high school that I went to, and now that my kids are going to go to in 3 years, holy crap, that is weird. Anyway, but basically, open turns, yeah, I've seen kids do flip turns back and forth across the hall on the tile because it's slippery, and they have some fun with that. There's no way to really work on flip turns on dry land. There's just not. You got to do work in the pool. It's all in the pool. That's why I say with open turns, you can get yourself to a point to where you can do a competent open turn. You're not going to waste a lot of time, not going to waste a lot of energy. Yes, open turns take more energy than flip turns. However, the time it will take you to actually learn a flip turn, if you're over 145 per 100, it's going to be diminishing gains. You're going to spend so much time and so much mental energy when I would 100% rather you focus it on actually fixing real mechanics of your stroke that you're going to be using in an actual race. That's the overall thing with open turns. So I do have a fun video, though, of what not to do with open turns. So this one shows you exactly what not to do with an open turn. So I'm going to come into the wall. So you see that? So this one's kind of a quick one. So I'm going to come into the wall, bring myself in, push myself out, rotate this way, and then go. Okay, this is what I've seen a lot of y'alls do. I've seen a lot of y'alls do this turn. Don't do this turn. So you see, so we'll break it down. We'll break it down pretty slow here. So you're coming in, touching the wall. Number one, don't touch the wall with two hands when you're swimming freestyle. There is absolutely no reason to touch the wall with two hands doing freestyle. Breaststroke, butterfly, mandatory that you touch both hands. Or what's going to happen is if you try and practice breaststroke and you touch the wall with one hand, there's going to be an invisible man that's going to chuck a little bean at you, okay? You're going to get a little bean chucked at you. Whether or not it's going to hit you or miss you, I mean, it's up to the little man. Little man is going to chuck a bean at you. So before you say, no, two hands on the wall. Okay, I'm joking. So when you swim freestyle and you're doing an open turn, just use one arm. Not required to use two hands. So that's number one. Number two, I'm pulling myself in all the way to where my nose is about this far away from touching the pool coping. Yeah. Or that's the coping. Anyway, don't do that. Number three, you see I'm rotating my body all the way around and then having to get my hand in front and do that. Okay? So basically what you're doing is you're rotating and then you're pushing yourself all the way underwater. You are physically moving the water down as opposed to tucking in a little ball and just doing a little bit of a rotation. Okay? All right. So that's it for open turns. If you're in chat, let me know if you have any questions about this. If you are watching as a VOD, feel free to leave a comment. Also remember, ferrellswimtech@gmail.com is the official email for this broadcast. If you have any questions whatsoever, I do realize I have to do a film for one person. I do profusely apologize for not doing this. My work schedule has gotten way too crazy, and I've been brain dead by the time I get home. So I barely muster up the brain power to play a game. Yes. So, unfortunately, I have been very lacking in my creation of certain contents for this channel. I do apologize. Work. This live stream doesn't pay the bills. My actual job pays the bills, so that takes precedent over this every single time. Also, Instagram, YouTube, and Rumble, if you want to check out past broadcasts, I will get some time to upload them this weekend over Memorial Day weekend. Also want to talk about my sponsor, H2O Audio. Hey, brand new Zoot partner, H2O Audio. Unfortunately, this kind of disincentivizes me of sharing my coupon code because you guys all get 30% off now, and I only have a 20% off coupon. So, yeah, so just so you know, H2O Audio is actually really good. I use H2O Audio's, where'd they go? There you are. Here are my Tri-2 Pros. I use these when I swim. You actually get really good audio quality when you swim with these. Running, I mean, it's kind of, I mean, my older Aftershocks are a bit older tech. So I would say in terms of run audio quality, the H2 Audio might be a little bit less, but for me, it's good enough. I'm not a huge audiophile when I run anyway. But having them able to jump in the water and use them, that's fantastic. I love the fully waterproof. Also Playlist Plus on the Pro Series, which is fantastic. I can record music directly from Spotify onto my headphones, and it works really well. I have a couple folders. I also have a buddy of mine that makes hour-plus long trance music playlists. So it's a single MP3 file that's about an hour long, so I'm able to just take my computer, chuck them right onto the headphones. I use them during workouts. It's fantastic. So H2O Audio. So they now are a so they're now a Team Zoot partner. So we get 30% off if we use the email to create an account with our team membership. Check the details of the email that was sent out. However, this is not the code for all your friends and family. If you have friends and family that would like to buy H2O Audio, Tell them to use offer code FerrellSwimTech at checkout to get 20% off their own order. So you're going to be saving a little bit more money using the Team Zoot code, and 100%, if you're going to buy them, use the Team Zoot code, save yourself some money. However, think of me, think of Ferrell SwimTech when you're referring this to your friends. Okay, so let's get into flip turns now. Flip turns. So thank you, ASO Audio, for sponsoring the stream. And no, I don't get any money for the ad reads. I only get ad money based off if you actually buy the product. So please look into it. Buy one. If you're going to buy one for your friend, if you're going to buy one for a loved one, hey, Father's Day is coming up. Maybe your special husband/father in your life would love to have some headphones when he swims, works out, lounges around at the pool, yada, yada, yada. So, okay, so let's talk about flip turns now. Flip turns they're a little tough to learn. Not gonna lie. They're a little hard to learn. So I'm gonna show you just my basic flip turn. Like I said, I've done tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands over my lifetime. So that's a flip turn. That's your basic flip turn. If you can do this flip turn, you're 100% golden. Okay? So let me break it down. So I'm going to be swimming into the wall. Okay? So I'm going to get into a position here. Okay? So right now, this looks very similar to our open turn. But there's going to be one key difference. You don't touch the wall. Okay? Do not touch the wall before a flip turn. Not required. Under actual freestyle rules of USA Swimming, only something has to touch the wall before you push off to the other end. That's why flip turns are legal. You can just touch the wall with a foot, one pinky toe. I have done some times where I barely got a big toe on the wall because I screwed up my flip turn. This is when I was much younger. The only time I've ever screwed up a flip turn is if the walls are slick. Mirtha pools. Okay. I'm not a fan of Mirtha pools. So you're coming into the wall. Arm is outstretched, arm is back. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my my other arm back, and then I'm going to tuck the head down. Okay? I've tucked the head down. I've started the somersault. My feet are going to come over here. Okay. This is number one. What you are going to want to try and accomplish. When your feet, that is actually super cool that I got this nice little water arc. So when your feet come over your body, you want your legs to be in a chair. Okay? This is something not a lot of people are going to tell you. You want your legs in the chair. So as they come over, your legs are in a chair. Okay? This is where we want to get to eventually. All right? So your feet are in a chair, and then they come into the water, they touch the wall, and as I touch the wall, I push off. Okay? So this is breaking down a basic flip turn right here. Okay? So coming into the wall, one hand back, two hands back. I then push the water this way in order to initiate the turn. Okay? So, I forgot to see what my daughter actually filmed. Let's see what she actually filmed. Nope, that's the open turn. Oh, there's my daughter. She says hi. Okay, so coming into the wall. Okay, so the actual one of the flip turn didn't really get it didn't get filmed too well. There you go. Okay. So, oh my gosh. My daughter needs to work on her camera work. So coming into the wall. Okay, so we got one hand back, two hands back. Okay, so right. Okay, so here, you see my palms are facing down. I'm going to teach you how to do this segmentally in a minute here. But what's happening is my hands are I have tucked my head in. I've started doing a half flip. I'm kind of in a pike position at this point. My hands are actually pushing down. My hands are going to push down to the bottom of the pool. So right here, you see my hands are here, okay? So I bring my hands from the down to the up. So I'm going to keep my hands here. I'm going to bring my hands. So I'm floating into the wall. So you're at the bottom of the pool looking at me. So I'm here, and then I'm going to bring my hands up to here. That actually is what starts the flip turn. It's not plunging your head into the water. It's actually creating what's called a counter moment, okay? So you're pushing water force down to the bottom of the pool. So right here, okay? My hands are above my head. My face is looking up. My feet are on the wall. I'm in my chair, okay? This is what you're going to learn. And then when my feet touch the wall, right here, okay, I am. Oh no, wait, no. This is where I assume the position on the wall. This isn't one where I actually push off. Which ones? Okay. That one's the one where you mess up. Okay, this one should be the long one. Okay. So these two videos show you where things can go wrong if you flip turn too far away from the wall or too close to the wall. So, if you flip turn too far away, you can't push off. You barely got your calves to push off at this point. If your legs are fully extended, you're too far away from the wall. And then with this one, coming to the wall, I'm too close to the wall, okay? You see how I'm almost in a full tuck? If you're in a full tuck, you are far too close to the wall. So let me kind of show you. Let me show you the three pictures, okay? This is actually kind of fun. So this one is optimal, all right? Good knee separation. You got a decent 90-degree bend. This one is too close. If your butt is actually touching the wall, you are too close. If you are too far, your legs are completely outstretched. Your legs are completely straight, like right here. I'm basically standing on the wall, okay? Realistically, that's what I'm doing. So, too much, too little, here's your Goldilocks, okay? So, that's the difference between your knee bend. So now, what I'm going to show you is basically, oh, yuck. Why did it do that? No, don't do that. Don't go full screen on me. So this is going to teach you. Now we're going to step through the progression of how to learn a flip turn, okay? First off, when you're learning flip turns, do it in open water. You can do all of this stuff in open water, okay? I didn't show it here, but you can basically do all this stuff in open water. So what you're going to do, and like I said, do this swimming towards the center of the pool. Don't do this don't learn how to do flip turns at the wall. Don't learn it this way because you're going to freak out. You're like, oh, I'm going to crash into the wall. Yeah, don't do it towards the wall. Do it towards the middle of the pool. So you're swimming here, right here, okay? This is your position. Hands at your side, head towards the wall, okay? But palms should be down. I didn't think about this when I filmed this. But basically, your hands are going, both of your hands are at your side. Your head is going in towards the wall. So then what's going to happen is you're going to do a somersault. dang it, I don't want you starting over there. So you're gonna do a somersault. So let me walk you through how to do a somersault. Okay. So my example is going to be at the wall. Your example is literally going to be at the middle of the pool. Okay. By the way, summer's coming. All y'all, lots of y'all's got pools in your backyards probably. Do this in your pool. Have fun with your kids. Learning how to do flip turns is going to make you look like a gigantic idiot, and your kids are going to giggle at you all the time. They're going to do it too. Y'all's flip together. Your family that flips together stays together. Have some fun with this. You can really have a lot of fun learning how to do flip turns. And like I said, get your kids involved. It's going to be a really good time. So what I recommend is just start learning how to do somersaults in the pool. The one thing though that I actually didn't film that you want to get it that you don't want to do is this. Okay? It's very easy to do somersaults when your hands are all the way out at the side. This is what I see a lot of kids do. They swim into the wall, they go into their turn, stick their hands out, whoop, whoop, whoop. You know, they circle their arms like this, and then that's how they do the actual flip. You want to be able to do it like this, okay? Learn how to do it like that. And one way that you can practice this is just put your hands down, bring them up like this, okay? Get some stiffness in the arms. Force that water here, okay? So then when you're at the wall in the shallow end, get your hand here, push water this way. Bam! You know, just really learn to move water this way. It's going to pay a lot of dividends when you're actually learning how to do flip turns. So, learn to do somersaults. Somersault. Learn, because basically you're trying to make yourself to do a flip. Something 99% of us would never think of doing on land. Okay? You got to remember, the reason why flip turns are hard is because we have to do a flip. We don't do flips. Okay? I do flips on trampolines. I've been doing flips on trampolines. Even at 40, I still do backflips on trampolines. I do front flips on trampolines. I do backflips, front flip half twist. I don't know if I can do a backflip half twist. But anyway, I do flips. I do flips all the time. And a lot of that is because I do flips in the pool. I do flips in the pool. I do flips on trampolines. I don't do flips on flat land. However, 99.999% of anyone that is watching this broadcast would never say, I'm going to do a front flip. It's not something we're used to doing. So now we're trying to make ourselves do a half a front flip in the water. Okay? It's not easy. This is not an easy skill to acquire. But you can have a lot of fun with it. Self-deprecating humor is always the best humor. You're going to look like an idiot. Embrace it. Okay? Just embrace it. Do some flips in the pool with the kids. Take the kids to the community pool. Hey, kids, I'm trying to learn a flip turn. You want to do flips with me? Yeah, Mom. Yeah, Dad. Just do flips, and you're going to look stupid. But hey, you know what? It's a good time. You're gonna learn a really good skill in the water, and it's really going to benefit your training. Okay, so you're gonna go into the wall. You're gonna get in the position. Okay. So then the next thing we got to do is learn how to do the flip. There is one thing I am going to tell you right now, 100%. Please, please, please tuck your head. Tuck your head. Don't bring your head backwards. You bring your head backwards, you're going to have a bad time, especially if you're flip turning in a shallow pool, okay? Please. This 100% is a safety issue, and it's easy. Just tuck your head. That's it. Let me show you. I'm in the deep end, obviously. So you see what happens? You see what happens if I keep my head back? Right there. So, right here. This is me purposefully keeping my head backwards. And notice I'm doing this in 12 feet of water. So, you're coming here. So you see where my head winds up going? My head is almost in line with the bottom of that T. Okay? You see where the bottom of that T is? The bottom of the tee is at the bottom of a 3'6" shallow end. Okay? That's about where you are. You may have an inch or two. Okay? Don't turn like this. Please. Please don't do this. Okay? All you got to do is tuck the chin. Tuck the chin. Blow air out your nose. Okay, that's another thing you got to learn. You got to learn. Got to learn to blow air out your nose while you're turning. If you don't, you're going to get water up your nose. You're going to have a bad time. Trust me. Now, I will openly admit every once in a while I'll flub it and I'll get water up my nose because I'm an idiot. Okay? It happens. It happens. You get water up your nose every once in a while when you turn, especially when you're learning. So please roll with it. It's going to feel like acid has just cleared out your nasal cavities. It's not pleasant. I'm a backstroker. I know all about water going up my nose. However, blow air out your nose. Learn to blow air out your nose while you're tucking your head forward. And I just totally blew snot all over myself. That's just delicious. Wow. Yeah, that was probably one of the dumbest things I've ever done on a live stream, okay? I apologize. Oh, boy. I think I have allergies, and this sucks. Anyway, so here's the deal. Tuck the head, blow air out your nose. It's gonna help you avoid a lot of problems. So you're gonna get in this position right here. So you're gonna push your hands forward and you're gonna tuck your head. Okay. So something I want to do is I want to pull up my Instagram. Let's see here. Because I did an Instagram post. No, that's not it. Let's see here. See if I can get into Instagram real quick. There you go. Oh, there you are. One second here. Yes, it's me. Finish. Trust this device. Continue as me. I'm gonna pin that right now. All right, hold on. Just about logged in here. There you go. Okay. So, okay. Okay, so this is a great way to learn how to actually do the flip. So you're going to take two kickboards, put them behind you. So you're going to get in the position. So the kickboards are going to help you push the water down. So then you're going to push the kickboards down, and that's going to give you a whole lot of surface area in order to be able to push. And the added bonus is when you're done, your arm's going to be right here ready to push off. So something you could do to learn how to flip turn is you're going to get two kickboards, get them behind you, kick towards the wall. You're going to kick towards the wall and then push and then flip. All right? So this will really, really help you learn how to do flip turns. Okay? So here's my illustrious Instagram page, which I need to make a lot more content. So basically the whole gist of doing flip turns here is learning how to become comfortable with flip turns. how do you become comfortable with flip turns? So I've shown you all the mechanics. So just the quick breakdown of the mechanics is swim, hands behind you, palms down. Tuck the chin, bring your hands to here, tuck the knees a little bit to where they are in a 90-degree angle with the chair. Get the feet over, touch the wall. So then the next part is how to judge the distance of how far away. Now, this is the part that's really hard for me to teach because everyone's different. I could very easily say, hey, I just wait until I hit the tee and then I float a little bit and then I flip turn. Well, if you're smaller, I'm 6'2". If you're 5'4", 5'5", 5'6", that's going, if I tell you to do that, you have no prayer of touching the wall with your feet. Okay? Unfortunately, figuring out how far away from the wall you need to be is going to be something that you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to spend some time. You're going to have to judge that distance. If all else fails, err on the side of being too far away. Okay? Also, when you are learning how to do this, please, for the love of all that is good and holy, do not try and do an Olympic caliber flip turn in terms of speed. Okay? If you're too close to the wall, you're going to jam your heels on the pool deck or the wall, and that's not going to feel good. Okay? Are you going to injure yourself? If you slam your heels hard enough on concrete, yeah, you're probably going to injure yourself. Take it slow, take it easy on the first couple times, okay? So, do a lot of open water turns. Practice the motion to where you can be here with your hands, sitting in a chair with your legs, and then focus on learning how to push push the water. You're going to push water, because you're in the open water area, but you're going to push into a streamline. Push into your streamline position. Because at the end of the day, the open turn and your, both your open turn and your flip turn is you want to be here, okay? This is the whole goal. It doesn't matter what you do on the wall. It matters that you get a good push off, okay? Because remember, this push off from here to here is the fastest you're going to be going in the water. Okay? That's the fastest you're going to go in the water. You want that turn to put you in the right position. Flip, bam, I'm in the position. I'm pushing off. Okay, you see how much explosion I get off the wall? Boom. Boom. All right? That explosion off the wall is what you want. Here's the reason why flip turns are better than open turns. You get angular velocity into the wall, okay? You get the feet coming over. So you have a linear force coming into the wall. You're swimming into the wall. You have a linear velocity. What you're going to do is you're going to convert that linear velocity into an angular velocity. That's a rotating velocity, okay? Yes, I'm going heavy physics on this episode, so sue me. So you're going to come into the wall, get some angular momentum in. You're going to slam those feet over and then push off. Newton's second law, more impact you do, the more of an opposite reaction you will have. So the faster you do your flip turn, the more force you're going to be able to have to push yourself off the wall. That's the whole name of the game. Is getting your flip turn better will give you more force to push off the wall with. And you're going to go farther off the wall. All right? So, once again, 145 per 100 or faster. Learn these tips. If you have any questions whatsoever, ferrellswimtech@gmail.com. Have some fun with it, please. Please have fun with this. Don't spaz. Okay, this is one of those techniques I don't believe you need to spaz out about. Have some fun with it. You'll learn it much quicker if you just have some fun. Don't focus too much on is my hands here? Is this here? Is this here? Is this here? No. Focus on doing the turn. Focus on doing the somersault first. Learning how to do a competent somersault is not easy. You're going to get lopsided. You're going to rotate on your side. It's going to happen. Focus on getting yourself in the position and trying to do this with your hands. If you do that, your chances of success will soar. So then focus on learning your distance from the wall to start the turn. That's going to be the two biggest things I cannot teach you, and you're going to have to learn on your own is, number one, how to do a competent forward somersault without getting off axis. Okay? That's number one. Number two, figuring out how far away from the wall you got to start your flip. You got to do those. You got to learn those on your own. It's going to take a lot of time. I recommend learning this during warm-ups, and then if you have a long set, challenge yourself to do flip turns the entire time. If you have a set of 200s, set of 500s, set of even a long set of hundreds, remember, every 100 you got 3 turns. Okay? Every 100 you got 3 turns. You got 3 times to practice it. All right? Focus on the fundamentals sometime else. Don't focus on the fundamentals during practice. Try and do your best to figure out how far away from the wall you need to be during practice. Work on the fundamentals at a community pool if you get some time. If you have some time, please do that. If you can't, spend a little bit of time during warm-up. Spend a little bit of time at the end of your practice doing some flips. Have some fun with it. Playtime. Do playtime. Playing is fun. So, all right. So, thank you all very much for tuning in. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I know that this one, my other sponsor, Dynamic Triathlete, didn't necessarily fit into this episode too much. But just remember, Dynamic Triathlete is another sponsor of Ferrell Swim Tech. 15 minutes a day, you'll get a lot more limber. Lower back flexibility will help here. And Dynamic Triathlete will help you work the glutes, your lower back, upper back, also your hamstrings. So this will help you be able to tuck a lot easier into the flip turns. So dynamictriathlete.com, offer code SWIM, SWIM, for 10% off your subscription. 15 minutes a day. You're going to thank me later. I actually do these on my lunch break. Also, Linktree. Check the Linktree. So if you'd like to donate to the stream, ferrellswimtech@gmail.com. Let me know. I'll send you a link if you would care to donate. So that's going to be it for me today. I got to get the kiddos ready for school. We got 2 weeks left, like a week and a half left of school for my kids. Yay. But hey, you know what that means? They're in the pool every single morning during the summer. Yes. There's a war going on in my house between swimming and softball. The funny thing is my middle daughter, she's actually, for how much she trains, she's actually really, really good at swimming. So I keep trying to tell her, hey, you're at the top of level 3, with only being back in the water a week, this is a good thing, sweetie. And she goes, I just can't wait for softball season to start up again. I'm like, but you don't practice. Okay. I'm not getting into this. I'm not getting into this right now. I'm not. So anyway, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Keep training, keep racing. So my next race is actually going to be in September. I am now going to be doing the San Diego Tri Classic. I got a good buddy of mine. I'm gonna give my buddy a quick shout out here. My buddy Josh is working on let's see here. What was his thing? Swim for Life. Here is Swimming for My Life. I gotta give a shout out to my buddy Josh. This is my buddy Josh. He started at 360. He is down 60 pounds, and all he's been doing is swimming. So right here, this is him down to under 300 pounds. This guy has been swimming his butt off. And I mean, okay, so he swam, let's see here. Okay, it didn't, it didn't show. Okay, so this guy at 300 pounds can go sub 145 per hundreds. Okay, he also swam in high school. He was a decent swimmer back in high school. But if you guys want to go on Instagram, give my buddy Josh a follow. He's really trying to lose a butt ton of weight. His father-in-law actually passed away due to weight-related complications. So he is working on losing weight as well. So if you want to give my buddy Josh a follow, he is actually going to do the San Diego Tri-Classic with me. So he was talking about doing a 5K, and I said, hey, you got the swimming, man. Just train for your 5K, and then just ride a bike for 30 minutes. And then you can do a sprint triathlon. So we're going to race together. I don't care what place I get. I'm going to race with my buddy Josh. So go follow him, Swimming for My Life with underscores between those. Oh, I need to follow him back. I think I followed him on Ferrell Swim Tech. But anyway, so yeah, so that's that was actually my personal Instagram account. So anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. Go follow my buddy Josh, Swimming for My Life, and check the link tree, dynamictriathlete.com, H2O Audio. Thank you guys for sponsoring the stream. I don't necessarily know exactly what I'm going to do next week, so I'll figure it out and I'll let you know. So until then, my friends, good night, Isaiah Norris, wherever you are. I'm out of here. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.